Okay, Coach, so the folks here, they are bundled up, but they're ready for football as you get a look at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready, 18, Gator.
Coming to you, coming to you.
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll get 4 back there on the run, but now they're looking up at a 3rd and 12 situation.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. They'll look to throw here. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 13. Now the first carry for Devin Singletary. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch the shift. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
Regular. One touch.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Alert. Pistol. One touch.
A first down throw from Mayfield. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Taywan Taylor, his 5th touchdown now on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
22-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Cut.
Go.
56 to Mike. 56.
Deep rip.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Let's go. 90 Wolf.
56. Here we go.
Go.
Now back to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
King.
53's the Mike. 53.
From the 24, Mayfield. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
At the 37-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's get off the field.
King.
Check.
Throwing, Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Crawford. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
1st down, Mayfield. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Crawford. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Watch the screen.
Hey, alert.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. He's got the first down inside the 10 and down to the 7-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
First and goal at the 7.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
53, Mike 53.
Better bring it. You better bring it.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Baker Mayfield with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And this is no good. Missed the PAT, so they fail to connect. And this remains a 13-0 game. 13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Ready, ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Kill, turn up.
5. Snap.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll set up to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
Regular.
24, check 24.
Check 4. Up.
Check. Kill.
They'll run on first down. Parnell, and he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Up past the 25 to the 26. A gain of 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
It's a party now.
Hey, alert 33.
We good. Hey, alert 3.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield on the move to his left. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43.
Motion. Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
From the gun, Mayfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? Get a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll run with Dalton. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches. So here's Greg Zuerlein now as he'll try for the field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And this is picked up by the Browns. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Mayfield now. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham. His 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. But what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you're talking about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Go now. 60 Pittsburgh.
56. Hey, that's scared. That's
5.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll look to throw, and his throw is incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, Zoo.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
They're going to look to throw. But it's brought in by Washington. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 25-yard line. Back to throw here. He's got his man on the crossing route. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line.
56 to Mike. 56.
Back to throw. And it's caught. It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
56. Mike, 56 right there.
He'll drop to throw. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. It's their quarterback in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. The Browns drive about to get started. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This one taken from the 7. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Under 10.
Pistol.
Undercut.
Hey, alert 33.
They will run with Singletary. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Mike 53. I don't think you got it, son.
They go play action. Mayfield. Over the middle, complete. That's Crawford. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defense.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. From 19 yards away. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Zuerlein good with a PAT. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. That's caught by Jackson. It's a 4-yard pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Go! Bravo!
56, right there.
Looking to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Run. Watch the safety creep.
They go right back to Singletary. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Mayfield on first down. He finds his target, Beckham. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Parnell, he'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they block well too.
Not only have they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Check 50.
Singletary on the toss play. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Devin Singletary, his 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Zuerlein good with a PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
Ready up. Mike 40. I'm coming.
After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. 2nd and long. His throw incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and now it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Cleveland offense ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their play.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Out of the game, his third on the year, as his guys continue to pour it on. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
51, Steelers 7.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. And we're back now here in Cleveland. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
We go. 10 Lobo.
Me and you all day.
2nd and 3. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Pull it together.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete. And the Steelers on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll set up a throw, and that is incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complimentary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10. They'll run out of the gun with Singletary. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here's Singletary. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll run again with Jackson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
They'll look to throw here, and that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
And from that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. On 1st down, Parnell. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Check 26. Check 99. Check 99. Rush in. Point it right. Point it right. Point it right.
On 3rd down, they go with Singletary. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. Here's Matt Weil now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48 and a return of 8. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
218, chopper. Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog, get it.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Got an open man, it's Washington. And they will finally catch him, but not before he gets it to the 11. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Mike, 56, right there, 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. That's a whole lot of points still to be down. But congratulations, they're still fighting, and they scored another touchdown.
Like my old high school coach used to say, Charles, he said, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and sometimes you wish you never had showed up.
Could have saved the gas money, the hotel, what have you, huh?
Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
The Browns drive about to get started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, Just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
What? 180! Coming this way. Here we go. Here we go.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Mayfield on the keeper. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
Here's Matt Weil now as he's on to punt for Cleveland. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. It'll be a 48-yard punt, 5 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Browns, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.